Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are good. So today we are going to learn about idiomatic expressions. So idiomatic expressions के बारे में सुना है कभी? So let's read. To break down. आप यहाँ पर meaning देखेंगे और usage के साथ इनको सीखेंगे. Okay? So I'll start from to break down means to go out of order, to go wrong. So example पूरा एक देखते हैं sentence के साथ. My car broke down on my way to Allahabad. To break into means to enter forcibly and abruptly. 4 robbers broke into their house last night and took away all the valuables. Next is to break out. So to break out के अंदर हम पढ़ने वाले हैं to spread means to begin suddenly, है ना? Break out means क्या होता है? ये meaning है बच्चे साथ में और ये sentences. So cholera broke out in the city. A war broke out between two countries. Next is to break up. So break up means to come to an end. The meeting has not yet broken up. Next, to call in. To send for. Call in the doctor at once. To call on. To call on means to visit a person. I shall call on you next Monday. To call at. To visit a place. He called at my house but I was not there. To call out. To speak loudly. The names of the prize winners were called out one by one. Next, to come by. To come by, to obtain, to acquire. How did you come by such a beautiful watch? To come off. To belong to. Lal Bahadur Shastri came of a very poor family. To come off. To take place. His marriage will come off next month. To come across. To meet by chance. At the railway station, I came across an old friend. Next, to get at. To reach. The folks could not get at the hanging grapes. To get on means to make progress, to advance. How are you getting on with your studies? Next, to get away. To escape. The terrorist got away under the cover of darkness. To get through means to pass. I will get through the examination by all means. To give away means to distribute. The president gave away the prizes. To give in, to surrender करना है ना? His rival had to give in at last. To give up. To give up means to leave, to stop something doing. At my request, he gave up smoking. To keep away. To avoid. To retain absent. She was down with fever, so she kept away from her office for a week. To keep back means to hide, conceal करना. Don't keep back any fact from me if you want my help. To keep off. To keep off, to remain at a distance. Kindly keep off the animals in the zoo. Next, to keep on. To continue. I was tired of the long journey, but I kept on traveling. To look after. To take care of. He looks after his old parents with great care. To look down upon. To regard with contempt. The rich should not look down upon the poor. To look for. To search for. Nowadays, I am looking for a good job. To look forward to. To wait eagerly for. I am looking forward to my son's return from England. To look into. To inspect, to examine. Please look into the matter very carefully. To look up. To search for and find. always look up the words that you find difficult in the dictionary. To make out, to understand, to recover, to find out. I cannot make out the meaning of this phrase. Next is to make up. To supply what is lacking and the quarrel or misunderstanding. You must work hard so that you can make up your weakness in mathematics. Both friends have made up their differences by now. Next, to put off. To postpone. The meeting has been put off till next week. To put on. To wear. She put on a fancy dress for the show. To put out. To extinguish. Put out the lights, please. To put up with. To tolerate, to bear. I cannot put up with such a silly joke. To set in. To begin. The monsoon is likely to set up in next week. To set out. To start or begin a journey. Columbus set out on his voyage to discover a new place. To set up. To begin a new business. He had decided to set up a new factory. To take after. To resemble. To resemble. In looks, Akansha takes after her father. Next is to take down. To record or write down. The teacher spoke so fast that I could not take down the notes properly. To take in. To deceive. She was easily taken in by the cheat. To take off. To remove. You should always take off your shoes before entering a religious place. Next is to go through. To read from beginning to end. This play is very interesting. Do go through it. To pass away. To die. So यहाँ पर Amrita Pritam, the famous writer, passed away at the age of 86. To pull down. To demolish. The old buildings had been pulled down by the corporation for the sake of safety. To run out. To be exhausted. My saving ran out is less than a year. To see off. To witness one's departure. I accompanied him to see the station to see him off. To tell upon. To have bad effect. Hard work has told upon me. Next, to turn down. To refuse to fulfill. His parents have turned down his demand for the motorbike. To turn up. To come. A good number of people have turned up to see my art exhibition. Next is to catch hold of. To seize. The policeman caught hold of the theft by the neck. Next, to hold one's tongue. To keep quiet. I told him to hold his tongue as I would give him a good thrashing. To bury the hatchet. To forget past quarrels. I advised both of them to bury the hatchet and be friends again. Next, to burn the midnight oil. Means to study late in the night. Do regular studies right now. You will not have to burn the midnight oil when your examinations are near. To cut a sorry figure. To create a bad impression. He has cut a sorry figure in my mind due to his behavior. To be fed up. To be sick of. I am fed up of his false promise. To leave in the lurch. To leave in a helpless condition. Selfish people leave others in the lurch. To lose heart. To lose courage. Brave men do not lose heart in difficulties. To make up one's mind means to decide. I have made up my mind to join NDA. To pull one's leg. To play a joke with one. Don't mind, I was just pulling your leg. To take hurt. To take courage. One must take hurt to face the odds of life. To take place. To happen. The meeting of the committee will take place next Sunday. To take to task. To scold. The teacher took him to ask as he had not done his homework. To be taken aback. To be surprised. To be surprised, his father was taken aback to see his result card. To win laurels. To win honor. Mahendra Dhoni won laurels when he scored unbeaten 183 runs to win the match at Jaipur. So next है for good. Means forever. He left India for good and went to Germany. For a while. For a short time. Let us wait for a while before taking any decision. From head to foot. He looked at the stranger from head to foot. For want of. In the absence of, I cannot continue my studies for want of money. For the sake of. We should always be ready to sacrifice for the sake of our country. From far and wide. From all directions. People poured in from far and wide to see the book fair at Delhi. From far and near. It has the same meaning as from far and wide. People come from far and near to see the Taj. In the long run, finally, ultimately. The policy of yours will not pay you in the long run. In short, speaking briefly, Vinod in short is a thief. In vain, with no success. I made many attempts but all in vain. Ins and outs. Complete facts. Unless one knows the ins and outs of the business, one cannot run it successfully. On behalf of, as the representative of. On behalf of the class, the monitor met the principal and made him aware of 4 difficulties. Instead of, in the place of. Instead of going to the movie, I would like to go to see the exhibition. In spite of. Despite. In spite of his long sickness, he topped his class. In order to. With the purpose. So purpose of, he took a house near the school in order to save the rickshaw charges of his school-going son. In the nick of time. Just in time. He reached the examination hall in the nick of time. In black and white. In writing. The principal asked him to give an examination in black and white. Next, kith and kin. Close relatives. All his kith and kin were present by his deathbed. On the contrary, against what was expected, I wanted to help him. On the contrary, he rebuked me for my interference in this matter. Out of pocket. Having no money. This is the month and I am out of pocket. Once and for all means forever. Let me tell you once and for all that I don't want to continue my friendship with you. Next, part and parcel. An inseparable part. Maintenance of health is a part and parcel of my life. On account of. Because of. I could not attend the extra classes on account of my illness. So extra fact भी पढ़ लेते हैं बच्चे. And idiomatic expression is often informal as a meaning of its own that is not apparent from the meaning of its individual words. So हमने देखा कि किस तरह से जो idiomatic expression है is often informally होते हैं, has a meaning of its own and that is not apparent. ये कैसे इनको किसी भी मीनिंग के साथ इंडिविजुअली करके देख सकते हैं, लेकिन इसको यूज करना पड़ेगा इंडिविजुअली वर्ड्स के साथ ही. तो बच्चे इनको प्रैक्टिस करेंगे मीनिंग के साथ, यूसेज के साथ और डिफरेंट सेंटेंसेस में यूज करने की कोशिश करेंगे. सो थैंक यू स्टूडेंट्स, थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग.